Welcome to the Score Roundtable podcast. We are back again with another amazing episode for all of our viewers and listeners out there. I just want to thank all of you guys for listening to us every week. We are bringing the goodness like always, guys. But tonight we have a very special little change up from the norm, guys. I want to introduce Mr. Michael and Mr. Daniel Smilovich from the amazing progressive post-hardcore band Bird Problems. We are very happy to have you guys with us. What's going on, y'all?
Hey,
what's up?
Thanks for having us.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
what's
coming.
up?
Oh, man.
Thanks for being here.
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate it. And like I told you guys before we started, my brother introduced me from you guys, and from that point, it's just been it's history from there. Because I love prog rock, that's the one thing. But even just as a rock band in general, you guys have a lot of things I look for. Like I talked about those crazy time signatures, like those are definitely there. I love you guys' lyrics, your attitudes. Like you guys seem like you're having a good time. And there goes Joshua again.
He's like, I'm bored, I'm out. Like,
Right? Like, they didn't need me here.
But yeah, man, I watch a lot of you guys' music videos. You know, you seem like you have a fun time. And like Michael, you just got like you be hitting the Mariah Carey nose, dude. Like, it's insane. And then you just go like we talked about with Cold Turkey, man. Is all the clean vocals are crazy, and then when you go into the vocal fry and the screaming, it's like a seamless transition, man. And that's the one thing that I really love about rock music. Like I'm not crapping on a lot of other bands because I'm sure it's a lot of other metal groups that you guys look up to and all that. But one thing that kind of is odd to me is like the screamo all the time, like just every single song. There's like this one interview that I really like with Lacey, the front woman that used to be the front woman of Flyleaf, and they were asking her about her screaming and why she does it in certain areas. And one of the things that I like about her is she was saying that she only does it every now and again because some lyrics in the song, it has that kind of passion that comes through. That's a good lyric for you to scream or yell and all of that good stuff. And don't get me wrong, there's some great bands, Bring Me the Horizon and all of that do it really well. But the thing that kills me sometimes is it seems like some lyrics don't really match the intensity. And when you go and you read the lyrics, my man was saying he's going to the store and buying bread, but he's screaming and yelling. It's like
Screaming bread.
It just seems like it's not earned. And I'm not sure if you guys feel the same way about it. But one thing I like about your music is, especially like I said, with your time signatures, with your rhythms. Like I said, Daniel, how you play drums. It's really technical, and you guys seem like you really pay attention to what areas you put certain things, and I just think that's really cool.
yeah, like
Good.
we always said contrast is huge, right? I remember like from the get-go, like even before we were Bird Problems, like Michael always said, like the heavy parts are heavy because they're soft parts, and the soft parts are soft because there's heavy parts. So like that's how it works. If you're doing the same thing for a whole song, you don't get that contrast, you don't get the same highs and lows. So
Yeah, I think I like it more now. I slowly like my tolerance to build for more of the pure screaming stuff. And I think when you listen to it more, you can even find the little bit of contrast where it's he's screaming slightly lower, slightly higher, he's screaming in a different way, or even when they're choosing not to scream becomes important. But yeah, I also have some trouble with that. I'm not going to start any beef in battle scene.
I won't do it.
No, but I know what you mean.
It's all love, man.
I know what you mean, and I agree. I think the contrast is important, and totally like exactly what you said. It almost lets you play different characters sometimes, or have a conversation within the song, where this is like the one side, or this is the other side, or this is like the positive or negative thoughts. I always think that that's important to think about the way you're delivering the lyrics.
For sure. And I feel the same exact way. You have other bands that use two guys for that duality. And that's why I just gravitated towards you guys, because I'm like, oh, that's the same person. So it's just that level of, I guess, just mastery of being able to switch between the two. Do you have a hard time with doing that during live shows, or was it something that you became easy over time?
There's ups and downs. I think at first I didn't have any idea what I was doing, and I was just going for it. When I watch videos of us playing 10 years ago or so, I'm like, what was I doing? I don't sound anything like that. I was just going for it, and it was working for a while. But when we started doing longer shows, like around 45 minutes, an hour, I would definitely lose my voice plenty. And I've, in the past few years, been trying to learn better technique, more sustainable, a lot of it's just really warming up. And I'm a pretty big diva now before shows, so I like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, especially if you're playing late and we're at a bar or something. We got like 3-4 hours to mull around. Friends are coming. There's loud music. You're like talking over other bands. So at a certain point, sometimes like people come up to me and I'm just like, I won't talk to them. I'll have to go hide downstairs, have a tea or something backstage, just because like, otherwise my voice is shot before we even start. So I'm just trying to survive it. But yeah, we haven't done any huge tours. But if we do, I'm gonna have to be really like get my sleep. Like none of that rock star lifestyle.
Awesome.
No, man, I definitely feel it. That's really cool. And one of the things, especially talking about that rock star lifestyle, I think because we've talked to a couple of other like musicians, but I think this is the first time we've had a rock band on the show, so which is great. You guys, especially a metal band, like you guys are the first for that. But we always like to ask, like first and foremost, kind of get a mental health check, because we know how everything has been going with the pandemic, having to stay inside. So with all of that going on, how have you guys been holding up? Like I'm sure for a band, but you guys having to stay inside, that was like probably wild for you guys, right?
Yeah, it sucks, especially because right before, like we were really getting some good traction, some good shows. Like we were really ramping up. We always have the next 6 months planned, and it was gonna be sick. So it definitely was not fun, and it's hard for a band that like to do anything. To write even was tough. To like even when you're not playing shows, you're like, oh, we're just like write an entire album because can't do anything else. But even now, it's tough. It's hard. Everyone's got their own stuff, and I heard a lot from other musicians and other bands that like pandemic hit and everyone had that mentality like, all right, let's just grind out music. Everyone's gonna write and track everything because like you can't do shows. But like there was such a creative exhaustion just from like, why am I writing a song if I'm not gonna be able to play a show? But at the same time, it's too, because Michael and I both are the only two members of Problems who aren't full-time professional musicians. Like we have other stuff that we do. So in a way, at least for myself, like that was helpful in that I don't have all my eggs in that basket, and then you can shift your focus at least a little bit and still do it and still write and still wait for shows to be able to happen. But at least for me, having other stuff was helpful.
Like kind of take your mind off of it a little bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't just, I don't know. There's a weird thing where like when you have endless time, like you can't get anything done. Like that was the feeling. That was the feeling that I had.
We did, as a band, we did basically nothing for a year, and then we started getting stuff going again. But it was really tough. Things were really like on the, and everyone has a story like that. April 2020 was going to be our month. Yeah, that's just how it goes. I think we came out of it stronger at the end, but it's definitely tough times.
Oh no, I definitely understand that, because I always say for me and my brother, when everything went splat, I feel like I finally got my social life going. Like me and like Marcus could tell you, like we would hang out every Friday night after work. Me and the group all went out to different places. I had a fantastic job, and then it just all came crumbling down. It's, oh my God. But it can be looked at as a curse and blessing too in some ways, because like I said, from that came the podcast. Like I had no intentions of having a podcast before the pandemic came. So
perfect opportunity.
Perfect opportunity, and helped us be able to reach out to a lot of different people that we would have never met otherwise, like yourselves.
Yeah.
Unless you guys came to Atlanta, of course. At that point.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, like we definitely, because you're in Canada.
Yeah,
right?
Montreal.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
French Canada.
French Canada. Yeah,
French
man. You guys gotta come to Atlanta, Georgia, man, and come see some of the venues down here. And because me and Joshua, we're huge for going to rock concerts, man.
I don't know if you guys know Satyr, the band, Satyr, from Atlanta. Good dude. We've been in touch with them. They also told Atlanta, so we might have to.
Gotta come through.
Yeah, obligated now.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're similar vibes. They're that band that like I think I discovered them because Spotify was like, this band is similar to you. I was like, wow, all right.
Fuck. Okay.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so Satyr.
Yeah.
Satyr. I don't know. Satyr.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
They're sick.
I'm definitely put him on this too. Cause yeah, me and Joshua, we don't play in games. Like I think the first mosh pit I was in was with you, Dmitri.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me and
yeah.
Demetrius went to
That was Warp.
what was that? Warp
Yeah,
Tour
Warp
2013?
2015. I thought it was
2015.
15. I thought it was 15. Yeah,
It was
15.
15?
Yeah, we went
That's right in the
to,
sweet spot, man. I went in
right.
2014. Let's go.
Oh man.
Yes, man.
You already know what it is,
Yeah.
man. Full day of just dirt and
Oh yeah.
sweat.
Just rocking out, headbanging, rocking out on your feet. Just
Yeah.
12
like,
hours.
Oh
it
yeah.
was insane. Bring Me the Horizon was in rare form. Man.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
We
my
Came as Romans was good too.
Yes, sir. Yes, it was insane. So yeah, man, you guys definitely gotta come to Georgia Rock Out with us one good time, man. For
Definitely.
sure.
We gotta.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
totally. But I would say my first mosh pit, because I don't know how it is in like a big venue with mosh pits, but in the smaller venues, when you're like in like a more controlled area, and they want to have mosh pits and stuff, and just little people across the room,
It's very dangerous.
because like it was
Yeah.
it was Inner Shikari. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Inner Shikari.
Oh,
My favorite band ever.
Hell
That guy, I take a lot of my like on stage persona from Rao. We're so
Really?
obsessed with them. I've seen them probably 6-7 times. Daniel also for
Oh,
a lot of those. But that guy's just a maniac on stage. I think we saw them with Let Live probably around 2015 also. And both those bands were just like had insane frontmen just like climbing stuff,
Yeah.
running around. And a lot of that's what got me to put down the guitar. I was playing guitar at first, and I was like, I want to be like these guys, run around. I want to be a maniac. And yeah, huge inspiration.
That's insane. That's insane that you say that, because those were the 2 times that I did mosh pit with. Because me and Dmitri, the last set we saw before we left was a Let Live, and Jason was going crazy. We had this thing where he separated us, and then we all just charged and like it's yeah. So that was crazy, and I think the song with Inner Shikari, what is it? Is it Paddington Frisk? Something
Oh
like
yeah, that's like the minute and a half one.
Yeah, that's my song, man. And we had me and Joshua. I got a chance to show him how to mosh pit. So that was fun. That was a fun.
that's awesome.
In the mosh pit.
Oh yeah, man. But yeah, seriously, you guys gotta, because we gotta mosh at your show now, man. So we already put this into action. It's gotta happen now.
It's in the air.
Everyone
now.
remembers
It's gotta happen.
Everyone remembers their first.
Oh yeah.
And you guys have the brother connection. Same thing with us. You brought me to those shows. Like the
Nice.
first show ever was like Escape the Fate, Get Scared, Alisana, like really emo post-hardcore shit. And then like you brought me to Ender Shikari. Like I was like, wait, no idea what's going on. Got my glasses kicked off a couple times. We're like, you're young. Like I must have been like 14 or something, and we were going to those all ages shows. You get like the marks you can't drink, and you go and you mosh, and that was like the early days. That's why we're doing this. So.
We went to so many. Also, there's something every month. It was great.
And that's actually leads into the next question, because I know, of course, you guys are brothers, but I definitely want to know like how you guys met with the other members of Verb Problems, and where your musical taste comes from, and where just the idea of you guys forming this band, like where did that start for you all?
Yeah, so we Michael played guitar growing up. I actually played piano growing up a little bit, but we never really played much together. And then I got into the drums from like the Guitar Hero drums, a classic story. And then I didn't have a kit, but we had this like youth center near our place. And so Michael had his electric guitar, and we'd just walk over and you like book an hour or something. And we went down there and just mess around on the drums, and we'd play our favorite like post-hardcore tracks. And there was a mic down there, and that's how he started singing. Like he never sang. He was just like, there's a mic here and we're playing songs that have singing in them, so let's do it. And he's like singing and screaming. I was like, what the fuck? Like how do you but that's really the origin. And yeah, like it's playing the stuff that like we were listening to and that we like went to shows to see and to like mosh to. Like that's how it started. You cover those songs, and then I guess like you just come up with a riff and be like, this is a song now. And we wrote songs that way for a bit, and it just kind of snowballs.
That's what's up. And they look, there goes a Guitar Hero coming in for the win again. Like,
What?
Oh yeah.
because I didn't listen. I can't lie. Like I think the only band before Guitar Hero that I really listened to like that was like Linkin Park, and then break into that kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both huge.
But those are like the origins that like we're like, I'm like 11 years old or whatever, and Michael's showing me like Linkin Park. I'm like, this is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, this is unbelievable, for real.
Yeah.
Like Hybrid Theory is still one of the best albums of all time. Like,
Yeah.
without question.
Yeah, without a question. Can't touch it.
You can't touch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of that, like one of the craziest concerts we also went to was Breaking Benjamin, Chevelle, and 3 Days Grace, same concert like that.
Wow.
Woo! 3 Days Grace was one of my first concerts. I've never seen Breaking Benjamin, but we listened to them a ton. But 3 Days Grace, I saw them with The Used and Thursday, I think.
Wow.
2009, around then. It was right after their third album. But yeah, those are also, and we were playing a bunch of 3 Days Grace because that stuff's really riffy. That was all, anything in like Drop D. Like that was probably more 3 Days Grace songs than anything when we were jamming down in that youth center.
That's sick, and I'm jealous because you got to see 3 Days Grace with Adam. Like I was like, when I saw him, Adam been gone. So like, definitely missed out on that. No shades of 3 Days Grace now, just doing their thing. But yeah, those Adam Gontier days are something else for sure. But yeah, man. So other than that, like, where did you guys meet the other members of your band?
All right, Joseph, our guitarist, went to high school with us. So we would do like battle the band stuff in our high school, and we weren't, I guess, in the same bands, but we'd, I guess, see each other perform. And this was around time where Daniel and I started writing songs together. None of them ever got released. We played them in some really small shows and everything, probably for the best. But then we brought Joseph in, and it was the three of us for a bit. And he started playing guitar, and then quickly outpaced me in guitar. So I was playing rhythm guitar, and then, like I was saying earlier, like I just wanted to run around. So after a few shows, I put the guitar down.
Yeah.
So
we like also got him. I played it with Joseph. I kind of stuff. He was into like similar kind of Breaking Benjamin type of vibe. No screaming, like whatever. He had like this dumb, like really big guitar, like.
He had the big
what was it called? Explorer or something. And then like showed him a couple of the like metalcore, like more heavy stuff, and he blew his mind. He was like, "Hey, we're doing this." And then I write songs with my brother, like come over. And so us three, we played together for a little bit. But then it was like, I need a bassist. And we graduated high school, and we do a thing in Quebec called CEGEP. It's like college before university. You just do 2 years of college. It's weird, but this dude Max there. And Max was a very good bassist and a good dude. And so we joined forces that way. And Max was the bassist up until Beyond the Nest recording. Just the last thing we put out. And then we swapped out with Matt, so our current guy, who we've also known a super long time. We knew for about the same amount of time. So like one of the best bassists I've ever seen in my life. He's unbelievable, and he plays like all around Montreal. He's like a hired gun. He does all the stuff, and he's unreal. So we were in touch, and we had an opening, and we just kind of asked him, and it worked out. So yeah, it was smooth.
Sweet. That's awesome. So, and to go along with just like coming together, everybody, I think this is the question everybody's been waiting for. Where did the name come from? What is Bird Problem?
Yeah, I'm surprised it took this long, man.
Well, I mean, because I dig the name, man. It's cool. I'm just and the artwork. Everything.
Daniel recently dug up some old videos that he had like unlisted on his YouTube that he sent me, and it has us actually doing an Energy Carry cover of Snake Pit when it had come out, the two of us, and the band was not called Bird Problems yet. The band at that time was called Stop It Craig. So I'm curious if you think better Stop It, Craig. And like the only comment is this sounds terrible with American accents. Canadian, damn it.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it just made me think of that. But we like to be cagey about the band name.
Yeah, the band name's kind of whatever you want it to be. Like we've had people say like Bird Problems, like girl problems. We've heard like problems pertaining to birds themselves having problems. It's all true, but also none of it's true.
That's what I thought. 'Cause I was like, I'm trying to think. I'm like, okay, like bird flu, or I don't know. Like just trying to throw darts. I'm trying to figure out where it lands. I'm like, I don't know what a bird problem. I never had bird problem except for birds pooping on my car. I guess every now and then.
That's a bird problem.
That's a huge bird problem.
But bird, that's good luck.
That's good luck.
No, they just say that because you just got shit on.
yeah, there's such a rare occurrence that you get pooped on directly by a bird. That's good luck, and I'm like, that's not good luck, man.
I got some pretty good luck.
That's
Man.
what I'm
They
That's what I'm
stay
saying.
pooping
My
on
luck
my
is,
car.
Oh
right.
shit.
My
Yeah.
luck is awesome. Because I mean, jeez. Okay, so you just leave it open to interpretation, basically.
And
The
people
real
remember it
story
that way.
isn't
Oh, go
actually
ahead.
good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yes, that like it's anything that you can think of is probably more interesting than the actual story. But and I also realized that being cagey about it is a fun bird pun, so I wanted to
That
reiterate
is a good one.
But
Yeah.
it was not intentional at the time, but let's pretend it was. But no, but people bring it up, like I'll get messages being like, oh, like someone will send a picture of a sign that says no birds, or like a bird that's stuck somewhere, and be like a bird problem. And second someone remembers the name, like that's reinforcing it. So it was almost a happy accident, but you can relate it to so many things. And in terms of writing too, and just theming things, like sometimes it's so hard to think of an idea when you can just think of anything. There's like analysis paralysis, but birds are such a wide open metaphor. It's just somewhere to start. So I found like not every song has to be related to it, but it's almost, I always constrained write a poem without the letter R or something. Like just it pushes your creativity. So once we had that theme, it's something to work within, and I found it helps a lot because you can do still infinite things with it, but just like 1 degree less of infinite things.
Okay.
My favorite story about our band name is like our second year of band or something. We're playing a show, and we just finished playing. We're like, oh, we killed that. It was sick. And then we go out like by the merch table, and there's all the other bands there. And this band's like, another guy like, oh man, like you guys are sick. Oh, thank you so much, like the classic. And they're like, so like when are you gonna get like a real band name?
Oh, shit.
Oh wow!
Wow.
It's my favorite story.
Dang.
It's so
That's in
good.
the heart.
And here we are, like literally almost 10 years later. So.
But here's the
Well,
thing,
once you said that, we couldn't change it.
Exactly.
Right, I was about to say.
Here's the thing, but
I think
what's his name better than your guys' name? That's it.
So much worse. It was so corny. It was so much worse. That was part of the joke. Yeah.
It would have been one of those classic metalcore names, right?
Yeah. Verb the noun or something.
Like Amongst the Grave Demons. Yeah.
Oh,
That's the classic in metal bands. Verb the noun. It's all of that. Verb the noun.
Ow. It can't see, and I'm sure it was like, I bet you that our original podcast name was even worse than the other one.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah.
Go ahead and tell
that,
them.
Josh.
Go ahead and tell them, Josh,
Yeah,
what the
talk about
original
him.
podcast name was.
I think are they muted?
Yeah,
You're all the way
yeah.
muted, I think.
We can't hear you, Josh.
Yeah, your mic is not on, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
You good now?
Yeah. We still can't hear you.
No,
I don't
we
know
still
what's going
can't
on with your audio, dude.
I think it's them. Those
Yeah,
comments that you got. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta take some things out. They're probably echoing.
Yeah. Can you?
Yeah, you messed it up.
You good now, bro?
Yeah, there you go. He's back.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
hear you now.
Okay. But yeah, like I thought it was a good idea to just be like, okay, it's called RAM, and
Provide.
RAM as in like random access memory.
Say the
And
whole
we
thing,
talk about
bro.
all kinds of things, like nerd stuff, and like
Don't explain it. Just say the whole name, dude. You're
Okay.
trying to explain it, dude. Say the whole name.
it's RAM.
Ram.
Yeah, I was trying to clean it up. Like I was really trying to clean it
He was
up.
trying to explain it so he didn't sound so bad. He was like,
And he
Yeah,
was like,
man.
that
Ram,
wasn't even a
man.
joke. My man was fully on board.
what about Ram Jam? I was like, oh man.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that leaves a lot to the imagination.
I'll be honest, we probably would have got a lot more subscribers by now with the name Ram Jam. I'm not even.
Definitely.
I think we made the wrong decision.
Dang. Josh already knew.
Yeah. But even on that, with you guys specifically, I really like the bird motif because I first saw you guys as like Beyond the Nest cover, and I was like, oh, okay, so like it's 4 guys in a group. It's 4 guys in a group, and you guys are like, oh, okay, so it's 4 guys and it's 4 birds. Okay, so all of them must identify with each of these birds.
That was an interesting.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. So they have They all identify with a specific bird, and they have
That's what I thought first.
songs that are named. Well, saying all that, I thought it would be cool for us to have like stupid like costumes or whatever while we did the shows.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he
was
wanted to
trying
do that
Have a
too.
different mask
Were you-
on and costume, have a mask reveal and everything.
Were you guys ever close to going the? Because like I said, just looking at the cover, like Joshua was saying, it's easy to think, oh, okay, these guys are not actually seeing a video and just listening to you. You're like, oh, they rock out in bird helmets. You know what I'm saying? Like, were you guys? Was that ever an idea on the table to go the full Slipknot route with bird masks at all?
Almost certainly.
Oh,
I'm sure we
definitely,
talked about
definitely.
it, right?
It's
Yeah.
also basically happened. Like you've worn various hats and like bird hat attire for sure on stage.
That's true. Yeah, I've definitely
Early
sung in. Yeah, I would sing in I think a chicken mask. We had a horse mask for a while, and I would stick the
wow.
mic into it. And yeah, I had the chicken hat for a while. You're right, with the legs like dangling down.
Yeah,
We talked about the masks, but we thought it was already played out. We're super into Hollywood Undead back in the day, also.
Same.
But like it already, even when we were starting, we felt like it was a little late to be doing the mask thing. I'd almost rather go like a Gorillaz route and be like, that's the band. It's those four birds.
Yeah.
Don't worry about us. Like we're behind the curtain. Virtual show.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
No,
But I don't know if I'm missing it because Michael does the lyrics and concepts and everything, but I don't think we're all one of those birds.
No, so that's the thing. It worked out. It was just that it was 4 songs. So each of the songs is one of the birds. But we are 4 people, and I think originally that was maybe the plan. But we could try to kind of pigeonhole ourselves into that. Yeah.
Nice. I remember before or after a show like in Toronto, we were talking about who would be who of the 4 songs / birds. And I think it just evolved into us like what our spirit birds were or something, but I don't remember any of it.
No, yeah, they're not. It was too many things at once to match them to the songs and to all of us.
Well, there you
I
go.
think
Like, go ahead. What are you about to say?
No, I was gonna say there's a little bit of all of them in all of us.
I like that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
So you could just like you said, just slide into that in the next interview. Yeah, I'm Qualia. This is like you just like all slide into the different bird personalities. But the biggest thing I wanted to know about that also is how did you guys have that idea? Number one, to have that artistic direction, and just being like a metal band trying to make it, especially in the early days. Like, how did you guys market yourselves to get shows and to get a following and all that good stuff?
But yeah, I can start with the second half, Michael. You can take the bird motif stuff because I don't have to do with any of that. But yeah, starting out like. We were playing because we wanted to play and we were just into it. It actually worked incredibly smoothly to get our first show. Like I've heard a lot of friends of ours start a band and then you're like, who do I play for? Do I get a show? I don't know how it works out. And I just like a friend of Michael's just like this show probably a month or 2 into us being a band. So we had songs ready. We went out and played, and every show it's like you get a few fans, a few people that are into it, and a few people that like it. So we kept doing it, and eventually we got in touch with like promoters who would kind of book shows for us, promote the shows. So there's audiences there that don't necessarily know you, and guys that work in Montreal, maybe that same guy works in Toronto and gets you a show in Toronto. And so we still work with the same promoters that we were working with probably 2 years into being a band. They're called Vendetta Management, and they like work Montreal, Toronto. They're great, and they're like good to us. They like very transparent about everything. So we work with them. Like that's a great way to get shows, is like having people behind you in that way. Getting a following. I think we're also big believers that music speaks for itself. And if you write good stuff and spend time on it and record it and put it out, that hopefully like enough people will hear it and mess with it and share it, because that's kind of how it happens. Like we, aside from playing and telling our friends about it, there's not a whole lot of like crazy promotion stuff that we do. But I think we just trust the stuff we write, and we know like the communities, and writing music for 10 years, whether you're in Montreal or elsewhere, like you start getting those connections, and then when you pass the songs along to that guy that might know a lot of other guys, it kind of snowballs.
The bird stuff. What were you asking about? How we theming and the artwork and stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
So our first album, we didn't really know it just emerged. Like our first few songs had nothing to do with birds. Our first like EP, which you probably can't even find, was called like Bird Shot, like when birds get stuck in a plane. Because we were like, oh, like the EP name is a bird problem. That's funny. And then our first album, or I guess our only album, Tar, was like this concept story that wasn't really about birds. It started with a bird virus, like you said, actually, but that was its own thing. It was like this idea that I had for a long time. I wrote like a little novella to go with it that we would sell at shows and stuff. But then for Beyond the Nest, I think it was actually a cousin was like cold turkey jerk chicken or something. We were chatting, he's like, you got to do it. And we're like, all right, we'll do it. And then we worked out the other songs, and then we actually found the artist on Fiverr. This dude in Egypt named Kwanawi, and he was doing like anthropomorphic animals. He's been doing like posters for jazz shows in Cairo for 15 years, and this was right in his wheelhouse. We hit him up, and he did amazing work for us. So I'd love to work with him again, and yeah, we were happy with how that turned out. So we'll see. Maybe we'll continue with that vibe on the next one.
Yeah, that'll definitely be pretty cool. And big shout out to because we got some work done for the show.
Oh yeah, off of Fiverr, yeah.
So big shout out to them, by the way. But no, that's definitely awesome, guys. And like I said, we definitely hope you move forward with that motif, because it's definitely, even on your social media, like just looking up your albums, it's just something that sticks out, and it's really dope. Like I said, and it matches with the intent, energy of your music too. Like it all kind of works. And then you guys have like really cool your music videos. It comes through goofy, cool personality. So I mean, it just works, man. So yeah, we definitely hope you guys keep moving forward with that. And one of the last things we wanted to talk about, I'm guessing you guys are like some video game nerds too. Am I right on that?
Yeah, more him,
sure.
but yeah.
Okay, definitely. Because I see one of the things I wanted to talk about was your, what is the name of VR? You said Bird Quest. Does that have anything to do with the? So I work on virtual reality video games as well, and design virtual reality games. How did you get into that?
Yeah, so this is more of my professional background, but yeah, I originally studied like cognitive science, and I was actually working in neuroscience at first for about a year. So that was my first job, and then I was looking around, and the only option there is just to keep doing it. So it was like, all right, I'll do this PhD and then maybe a few postdocs, and I would have still been doing it. This was like 5 or 6 years ago. So I just made a call, and I found this online VR course, and it was like, this thing's getting big, try this out. And I was like, all right, 6-month course versus 6-year PhD. I'll try the course, see what happens. But I wasn't into VR before then, but we've always been big gamers, and I can talk about it after, but I think actually a lot of our musical taste emerged from some of those early games. I think like some of the first metal songs we heard was in NHL 06. Or like big, yeah. But the soundtracks of those were so heavy. The intros were like, damn, like hockey and metal. It's perfect. But yeah, we were always playing games together growing up. We played a ton. And yeah, but anyway, so the past 5 years I've been in the VR industry as a game developer, coding, but also designing these games. And one of the first things I did was this project for the online course I was doing, and I made this little thing that I called Bird Quest, where you were like throwing chickens in space and stuff, and it was just like a way for me to experiment, a way for me to stay creative. Or I was like, what if you throw the chicken into the sun? What if I made it have a little explosion? And then I'm like, let's figure out how to do that. What if I want the chickens to walk around? I guess like now I'm spending 3 weeks on chicken AI, right? So that was actually how I taught myself a lot of the stuff. And I think without that outlet, I don't know if I would have ended up with this career.
Wow.
But I also ended up using BirdQuest as my master's thesis and made this multiplayer VR game that I gave a talk on in Barcelona. So it's all of it was so silly, but I always tried to use whatever I was doing professionally or academically to push the band at the same time, because I never wanted to compromise or choose one over the other. I was like, let's just do it all at the same time.
That's really cool. And hey, man, like from one scientist to another, dude. Like I said, I feel your pain. I'm in my PhD right now, dude.
Oh shit, yeah.
It's insane. I already know how it is, and that's so cool, man. That was another thing that was odd. Just reaching out to you guys, because I found that out quite recently. And one thing that I like to do outside of going to school, I like to reach out to younger children and get them into science and figure out ways to combine science and art. So the fact that you were able to do that and even got your master's degree, so like off of that, that's insane. Definitely congratulations on it. That's awesome, man.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really.
What are you doing your PhD in?
Yeah, man, I'm getting mine in public health. So I actually recently just got my bachelor's biological science. And the crazy thing is, like Marcus, he always talks trash about me because I literally I didn't take a break, man. Between
crazy.
You crazy for
between
real.
my masters, I literally just got my masters 5 months ago.
Got it.
Yeah.
Just got it.
And as soon as I got it, like legit later, like right after the holidays, I jumped right back into this PhD program, man.
And then look, Daniel and Michael, he crying to me, talking about, man, I'm so tired. Don't say all that. You want to be a big boy, put on your big boy pants.
Hey, just go through it, bro.
Look, I took a break after just getting an associate's degree. I took a little semester off, so I was like, man, do you, bro? Just go ahead and get it done now. That's all we got to do. We almost there.
Right?
No,
Tunnel, bro.
You ride the wave, though.
Yeah.
You ride the wave. The grind doesn't stop.
I'm riding the wave. I'm trying, man. I'm like literally, because you guys actually caught me this week. I'm on my break, so this is my second week before my semester starts next week. The first time we were supposed to get you guys on the show, I think you're like, hey man, we got something to do. I literally got to school and I was like, Jesus, yes, like that's so perfect. I'm like, yes, we can do it whenever you want. You want to do it later? Let's go. So that worked out, man. But no, that's cool, guys. And I definitely love to meet fellow nerds, man. And like I said, what you got going on, Mike, I definitely love the opportunity to meet fellow scientists, man. I had no idea till like the last minute, so that's really dope, man. Good stuff.
Sure, for sure.
Oh, go ahead, Josh. You want to say something?
I was gonna say, but no, like just what you're doing, Michael, and what Chad's doing, because I have like several associates in avionics, and I have like several associates in like avionics and automotives, and I was just like, but I want a bachelor's in science though. It's just cool to say you have a bachelor's in science. So I've been, especially with catching us at a good time, because I'm actually on my break too, because I've been like struggling through my bachelor's in a comp sci.
Nice.
So,
yeah, that's my stuff. That stuff's great though. That's the most practical stuff I ever studied in university. So.
It's insane.
Stuff, yeah.
And I think you would probably agree, Michael, that like in your master's degrees, it gets to be to where you get into one specific area. So it's every class kind of bleeds into one another. But I swear that bachelor's is the hardest thing in the world. Yeah. Beyond that, it's just you're just doing the same thing over and over again. But that bachelor's is rough. Oh, no. If you get that bachelor's, you can do anything.
Definitely. Yes, you freaking
pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not just that, but even I don't know if you told him, Chad, that I told everybody that he played guitar. Like Chad plays guitar. Chad's actually pretty good at guitar.
Yeah. When he plays, when he
does it off, or whatever.
Between the
I try, man. I leave it up to the professionals. Y'all stuff personally is a little spicy, man. But, I take a stab at it every now and again.
Me too, honestly. I spent a while trying to learn cold turkey, and I almost got it.
Isn't that something your own song? It's like
I don't have the guitar. Like I let Joseph take over, and he goes crazy with it, and I'll focus on enough work to learn how to sing the parts. But I was able to play a few of those chords at one point.
Oh, okay. I see you coming through. All right. So, do you ever pick up the guitar on stage and do a rhythm every now and again, or
we had this one acoustic song that was like the one song I wrote on Tar, our album. So when we did the release show, I pulled out the acoustic guitar and I performed that. A very divisive song, but now there's honestly the rhythm. It'd be too much. Because again, like it's not, if it was more of the classic metalcore stuff, if I was just chugging along, like I could do it, but because it's so weird and often it's not matching the vocals, it's too many. That's why I don't drum. I can't do that many things at once. Yeah, no, it would be fun again if we ever write like a crazy metalcore song and I just gotta chug some zeros. I'm super down. But probably not for the next little bit. I'll stick to running around. Even the new stuff is harder to sing, so I find I'm running around less, and I just want to practice that stuff more so I can get that energy back, start running around somewhere.
Definitely, and I know especially after the having a quarantine for a bit, was it tough like getting the stamina back up to perform like that?
What was our first show? Was our first show back in Toronto? I know.
Yeah.
That shows.
But yeah, it was tough for me.
I don't know how your arms aren't on fire. I don't.
They are. It's brutal. Like the thing is too, like I'm now currently learning and practicing the stuff that I'm gonna go into the studio and record. And like for Beyond the Nest, like that's like a 6-7 month process for me. We write them and I can't play them.
Wow.
I write the drum parts, I can't play them at all, not even close. So I have to sit down, I have to slow it down 20% because we program everything. That's how we write. So we sit down and Joseph will do some crazy time signature thing and be like, oh, the drums would be cool if they did this. I gotta go learn that now. Even if I have the idea, it's the same thing. And physically, like it's because again, if it comes from my brain, like I know what I have to do. And I know that like when I program drums, and what people like guitarists that program drums have problems with is they'll program something that is physically impossible to play. So I know that everything I'm programming is physically possible to play. And I know that I have 2 arms and 2 feet, and like that's what I'm gonna do. But then it's working out. It's basically just working the muscles and getting up to speed, and it's tough. So that endurance, like, I'm feeling it now too, because like I'll practice these songs, and I'm like dripping sweat after one, and I need to do all 4. So it's the same thing for shows. Like we practice a set list that we haven't played in like a couple months. I'm destroyed. You always have to like get the cardio back up before a show for sure.
Oh, I bet. And how many songs do you guys perform in a set?
Depends. If it's a quick 30-minute, we usually do like 5. If we're headlining, which most of the time we were doing headlining shows recently, as we get like 45 minutes or an hour, so we'll play like 7, 8.
Oh wow, yeah.
With like throwing an improv jam and call it a day.
Maybe a little
that's crazy. Because I'm Beyond the Nest, my personal favorite is Cold Turkey, and man, them drums on there are sick. If I had to play Cold Turkey like one, I have to place my arms. Like I just need it.
It's a very fun one. order new arms on Amazon.
Right.
Yeah, just order.
Hey, on Amazon.
I bet you can too. You can get anything.
They'll come in a day. You're fine. Bro.
Like this shirt now, it's okay.
Just get you a new set of robot arms. It'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah. You can get a good deal on them, dude, on Amazon.
Exactly. But yeah, guys, man, like I said, I know it took a while to get this together. We really appreciate you guys coming out, man. It's definitely been a fun podcast. For sure.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
And one more thing. Yeah, Daniel, how'd you get started on the drums?
So I mentioned a little bit, I was Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
Like the Guitar Hero drums, I think it was 4, Guitar Hero 4, where it had the drums, and it's different from Rock Band, because Rock Band just had the 4.
Yeah, they had
and
the
you
cymbals and
they had the cymbals in Guitar Hero, so you get the action of like feel like you're playing. And I was like really good at it, and then I was like, I want to play real drums, and then I would every friend that I had a kit, I would just play on theirs, and like, it'd be guys that were playing for 10 years, and they'd be like, oh, you're better than me, and you don't have a drum kit, you should probably get one. And I just I have the same kit that I've had since I was 14. I'm 26 now, so 12 years later.
What was your favorite Guitar Hero song to play on drums?
Oh man, might have been like, because you have to go to the second page. I mix up 3 and 4, because 3 I played, it was only the guitar, so there's like that second page, the blue page with Prayer to the Refugee or something and stuff on it.
Those are the bonus songs.
The bonus song. Oh man, I don't remember what I really liked playing on the guitar. There was, but an interesting thing, I don't even remember the song, but an interesting thing about it is that it had the hi-hat here and the snare here, when really the hi-hats are usually over here, and that's why the drummers cross their arms. So I learned like this, and if you're gonna play like a fast, you're doing it here, and you have to alternate your hands in the incorrect way to play that beat. And I think it must have been like one of Barracuda. It's not Barracuda, but it's a song that has that classic beat, and so I learned it like the wrong way. And then when I finally got on the kit, I was all messed up because of Guitar Hero. So. That's a weird one.
Dang, Guitar Hero.
Right. I was gonna say me and Chad had all of them, especially
my favorite game of all time.
Especially like Guitar Hero Metallica. Like we played that till
it ain't touching Aerosmith.
Nah.
When you get to play Walk This Way, DMC come out on the stage. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're right.
You can't.
That's a spicy debate.
I'm just saying.
I can't be mad at that one, but definitely because I thought I was amazing until I actually picked up an actual guitar, because I would play that game so much I wouldn't even look at the screen sometimes. I was one of those people, especially what was it, Through the Fire and the Flame.
Can you rip that song?
Man, I can rip that song like today.
Why are you lying? Why are you lying?
Are you serious? Are you doing this?
Better dust
Bro,
off the
you
guitar.
You
We're
already
gonna dust it off right now after the podcast. We're gonna
Man.
dust it off and just show off.
So, all right, that's cool. We're gonna have a Guitar Hero podcast, Joshua. I got
The next
you, man.
episode is just you playing Fire in the Flames. That's it.
That's just to prove Joshua
And
wrong.
then he's
That's
just not looking at the screen. He's looking at the podcast. He's like doing this without looking at the screen. Yeah, Josh, I can do it.
Right, that's just a
Exactly.
podcast. Like, that's the whole episode.
Exactly.
I'd be into it. I'd watch that.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
It's gonna be. You're gonna be like the only viewer, Daniel. Like,
That's going viral. That's going viral.
oh man. But one thing we want to know from you guys, man. Like I said, we think all of your accomplishments are great. Like I said, we really appreciate you guys' music. We just wanted to know, for all of our viewers and listeners out there, all the guys that want to start their own band, want to start their own group, what advice would you have for a lot of those people?
It's a good question. I think it goes back to what I was saying before. Play what you like. Don't play and write stuff for other people. Write what you want to hear and what you would love. I listen to our music. Our music is exactly what I like and what we like. Like,
Nice.
we're not going to make stuff that we don't like. So you make it for yourself. The people that like you and that come support you is bonus. And that's much easier to say. There will be people that like you. If you're authentic and you write like stuff that you like, stuff that you think is good, and you're genuine about it, like, people will like you. That's just how it works. So just write, just start writing, start doing stuff. Like our original songs, Michael was saying, like, they were trash, but they were fun. Like, you got to start somewhere. You got to start writing it and practice, like, exercising that part of your brain, that writing part of your brain, that early on is huge. So if you're like never too young to do that stuff, like we were 14 and 16 or something like that, like when we started writing songs. So you write a full song and then you're like, all right, move on. And we still do the same. Like, we still write way more than we finish, because we'll have 10 songs and then it'll be like, oh, 4-song EP comes out of that because this isn't good enough, or this isn't what, like, representative enough. So just write a lot. It's one of those things that, like, you just have to keep doing.
Yeah, that's a great answer. There's not much more to say, but like one thing you touched on is just, finishing stuff. That's what I would say to anyone trying to do anything, make games, write things, just like finish things, because it's so, you could work on something forever and then never finish one thing, and then you'll never get good at finishing things and you'll never be able to build on that. So finishing stuff and just playing shows. Like, we just said yes to everything at the start. We played some things that weren't great. We paid our dues. That's what some people said.
Yeah.
I remember after a while, the promoters were like, you guys have paid your dues. You've done your time. And like, just having fun, really having fun. I think, and people have told us a lot. They're like, you guys look like you're having fun. And that energy, people relate to that and people bounce off of that. And also, if nobody hates it, no one's going to love it either. So once you get that first hater, then you're really on the way.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I remember our first meeting, man. That was a great day. I celebrated after that.
It's the best.
Exactly.
So just not being afraid of that and just doing it because you want to do it, like Daniel was saying.
And in that same vein, there's no show too small. There's no, like, you look at those as opportunities to show yourself off and shock your brand. Like, we took an opener slot. I think our last show was like an opener slot in Montreal for a pretty big band that, like, we used to listen to. And it's a challenge. It's the crowd's not there for you. Show them what you can do. Make them be there for you. You know what I mean? Make them all come see you after and be like, yo, that was great. You've been to shows where you see an opener and you're like, holy shit, like, that was sick. You want to be that opener. So it's motivation. There's no room to smoke. We played to 3 people at 4 a.m. at a rave.
Yeah.
Like, it was sick. Like, that's what you got to do sometimes. It was a fun time. Those 3 people, like, it's not, no crowd is too small. We had a good time.
Definitely. Great advice for all of our viewers and listeners out there. And we really appreciate that, guys. The last thing, of course, you guys get to shout yourselves out. So, Bird Problems, let everybody know out there on social media, all of our viewers and listeners out there, where they can, number one, find you guys, or where they can find your music. Go ahead. This is your time. Let them know.
Yeah, Bird Problems. We got all our stuff, I think, on birdproblems.ca, but we're mostly on Spotify, Instagram, Bird Problems or Bird Problems Band. You'll find us. And give us a follow on basically Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and you'll see when there's new stuff out.
I want to give a quick shout out to our Twitter account, because we have no followers on there. Or I think we actually have a decent amount of followers, but nobody interacts with our stuff. It's 100% our best social media. And it might be the best because there's such little interaction. It'll be like we tweet like I hate crows or something, and there's 2 likes and 1 comment, be like I also hate crows, and that's it. But everyone follow. It's @_bird problems, and it's
There you go.
a lot of blood, sweat, and tears go into that account.
No, I can see like you guys got legit problems because I was reading reading your page. That one post about what was it like an August dump or whatever? Like I was dead. Y'all don't.
Oh, I don't.
You didn't. Y'all didn't type that.
Oh, I'm sure I did. I just don't.
Daniel definitely did.
about
No, because it was like the joke was like, what was it? It was just like, yeah, imagine Instagram when people are always like putting, oh yeah, this is my August dump or whatever. Yeah. You know
okay, so you're on our Twitter. You're on our Twitter. That's fire. Yeah, no, that was a good one. That was a good one.
No, that was hilarious. I'll definitely let the viewers and listeners read that one. But yeah, I'm glad. But,
yeah, me too.
But yeah,
totally.
guys. So for all of our
one more thing, I'll shout out. Last thing, I'll shout out our merch store. Sorry, gotta shout out the merch store. You can probably find it easiest through the site on. I'm pretty sure it's birdproblems.ca.
It is.
Should double check that. But birdproblems.ca, there's a big link to the merch, and we have all sorts of ridiculous stuff that you can order, and that's like that's going to us. So that's going to help fund new projects and everything. Yeah, cool.
Sweet.
And tabs and stuff, all sorts of stuff on Bandcamp also. Sorry for all the shout outs. But yeah, we have tabs.
Yeah.
On Bandcamp, we got gonna actually buy the album if you really want to support, and we've got tab book, and we've got our other books on there. So it's all over, but all the links are all on birdproblems.ca.
Yeah.
Nice. Sweet. Yeah.
And
me and John were just talking about the
oh yeah, no, you guys' merch is it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's dope. I'm definitely gonna get a few pieces for sure.
Yeah, I got some stuff too.
And then also a shout out Amazon Music. That's where I found
Yeah,
you.
big shout out.
Let's go.
Yeah, Amazon Music definitely be coming through. So big shout out to them also. And yeah, guys, let everybody know what you're doing because we'll ask people and they'll be like, oh, nothing. I'm like, hey, it's just existing out here. I'm like, I got a Twitter I don't use. No, let everybody know.
Pump that up, man.
We're definitely existing also. Also, Michael's Instagram is incredible just for the handle. It's all walks of life. So follow him on Instagram. He posts once a year.
Yeah. No, I'll mostly go on the Bird Problems Instagram and do a bird of the day once in a while. So definitely follow along for those.
Sick. All right.
Yeah, Bird Problems band. Check us out.
All right. We'll definitely put all of Bird Problem stuff in the description below, guys. So no worries. And once again, guys of the Square Round Table podcast, guess what time it is?
Shameless promotion.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is time for our shameless promotion. So you can catch us, the Square Round Table podcast, every week on our website, squareroundtablepod.fandomlim.com. And that website, you can catch all of our podcasts and all of our other podcast groups on there, guys. There's a lot of other amazing content as well. But you can catch this episode and all of our past episodes on there too, as well as our YouTube page, which Dmitri will talk about in a second. But one more time, guys, our website is squareroundtablepod.fandomlim.com. Go ahead, D.
And you catch us on YouTube anytime. If you like the video, smack the like button, leave a comment on anything here. If you have some bird puns, I'd love to see them in the comments, man.
All of them. Yeah.
All of it. Every bit
let
of
it fly.
Yes, let it. There you go. He's on it. He's on it. He's on it.
We already started.
Share the video because that really helps us out a lot. Gets us out there and get people to see us. Follow us on our Instagram, our Twitter, and our pesky Facebook group. Breathe some life in there. Give us some birds in there. Put some birds in that chat.
They don't want to talk.
Yeah, please send your bird pics, please.
Yeah, I need to do a bird pic, man.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, guys, just like
hit the notification bell underneath the video so you get notified of this video and more videos in the future. Follow us on our journey, guys.
Yes, sir. So please, like from all of us, follow Bird Problems on their Twitter page and follow Square Round Table on our Facebook page. But with all of that being said, guys, it has been an amazing podcast, and I would love everybody to introduce themselves one more time, including our amazing guests. And my name is Chad Singleton, your host for the evening.
Dmitri.
What's an hashtag? Yes, hashtag no.
I'm Marcus.
I'm Daniel.
I am Michael.
All right, guys, and this has been the Square Round Table podcast. Thank you so much for coming out. We are done.
Peace.